I'm Jenny Davidson and I'm going to talk to sculptor Jamie McCartney about his latest sculpture, which is called The Great Wall of Vagina. Now Jamie, you've got 10 pieces in this display here. How many women were involved altogether?
More than 400. I mean, there's 400 casts here.
400 women, and how long did that take you?
Nearly 5 years. I had never intended it to be this big or take so long. So it kind of grew in the making.
And you've had to turn your studio into a gallery specially to be able to show.
That's right, yeah, I wanted to show it in Brighton first. More than half the people in it are from Brighton. This used to be a grotty artist workshop covered in filth and grime. And now it's a beautiful gallery space. The important thing, the reason why I've done all this and cast all these velvets is because I came to realise that a lot of women have anxiety about their genitals in the same way that men do. And I could relate to it as a man, going, okay, well I kind of get that. And it was through a different project that I came to sort of realise this, and then discovered that labiaplasty is like the fastest growing cosmetic surgery. So the idea that sort of women are cutting off parts of their genitals to conform to some notion of a popular aesthetic, which is created, I think, largely through pornography and other things. But the idea that we're in a society that kind of makes that happen, I found a bit repulsive. I'm like, how did we get here? Why are women cutting off parts of their genitals? We talk about female genital mutilation as a bad thing. Of course it is, and that isn't with choice. But women are doing this, choosing to do this, and I was like, why? So I got into kind of trying to work out why, and then having decided why, I want to do something about it. So this is really about saying, look, this is what normal women look like. And so if you're going to make the choice to have surgery, at least make it an informed choice, because up until this was made, there really wasn't a lot of places you could go to see what other women look like.
So it's bringing people back to a sense of reality. And it's like positive body image. We're hearing so much about that what you see in magazines, what you see in films isn't real. I think when the world's gone mad, it was so focusing on the physical instead of the person. We go out with, you have a relationship with a person. It's not just with their body, it's with the whole of the person, and that's up here as well. I mean, the idea that kids in America are having graduation presents of breast enlargements and labia reductions and bum implants, and I'm going, Jesus Christ, aren't there more important things? Can't we focus on up here a little bit? I think I've tried very hard to remove any porn elements from it, and I think just the sheer number of them doesn't give you the opportunity to kind of focus particularly on one, which kind of helps. Making them white, there's the absence of colour, and the way they're laid out in this very architectural way, I think really does kind of really get rid of any kind of porn element. As well as, at the end of the day, I'm not a medical person, I'm a sculptor. This is actually, it's also, it's a visual spectacular. That's what I want it to be, and it looks amazing, and I'm really happy with the way it's turned out. The Great Wall of Vagina is not for sale, is it?
No, it's not. I would like this to go into a public museum art gallery sometime. Because of that, I've got to sell other things during the show. So I've created all this wonderful merchandising, which is actually really popular. So people are kind of getting into it, buying postcards and the mugs and the films. What better way to start your day than with a Great Wall of Vagina mug? And I've made a couple of copies, so people can actually buy a copy of one of the panels in plaster and in bronze.
The Great Wall of Vagina obviously isn't your only sculpture. Tell me a bit about your other work you've got on display here.
Well, that's right. It's taken me 5 years. It's not all I've done in that time. I have made some other stuff. What's interesting, I think, for me, is that a lot of my sculptures hang on the wall. The thing is, there's quite a lot of humour in what I do, so it's quite whimsical. Obviously this is the American flag made out of bell ends. It's called Old Glory, and people can read into it whatever they want. It's actually about the fact that I went to college in art school in America, and that's where I had all my early sexual experience. This one here, made of mouse traps and cigarettes, is called Lucky Strike, and this is about the addiction of smoking. And then something like this, which is really just pure decoration. This is a man's body casted in a deer skin, which makes reference to Greek mythology. It's called Actaeon, who was someone who ended up getting hunted by his own hounds after being turned into a deer. So I do a lot of different stuff, and then obviously my bronzes and things like this piece and this one. So there's more to Jamie McCartney than being called the Fanny Man, which is what the danger is from now on.